Hello, I am Mr. Clean-looking dumbest talk show host, full-time alcoholic and television's most favorite long-running cowardly little bitch Steve Wilkos. And this is my co-star, my show's executive producer and ugly-assed wife Rochelle Wilkos. Over the past 14 years I've seen firsthand how my show has changed the lives of my guests. The abused found the courage to leave their abusers. The falsely accused have cleared their names, and those seeking justice have found it. But I never realized just how much of an impact I had on my viewers. I could not believe the amount of responses I received when I called on my superfans to sit down for a chat.
And today, Steve is going to meet a few of our superfans to hear how our show has affected them. As a result of our feeling guilty about all of the abuse we have given our guests for the past 14 years, you can only imagine our desperation for this tremendous ego boost.
Yes. Especially because my favorite groupie who I regularly cheat on Rochelle with is now trying to break up with me while I try to force her to stay with me against her will. I don't cheat on Rochelle with my favorite groupie who is trying to break up with me while I try to force her to stay with me against her will.
As the executive producer of the show, I am responsible for thoroughly reviewing our guests' stories and for choosing which of these guests will be the easiest for us to use and exploit for money and entertainment. We target the young, old, disadvantaged, poor, and, most of all, the minority ethnicities to take advantage of. The fact that we have been mistreating our guests for our own selfish gain for all these years have been weighing on our consciences quite enormously, especially considering that our two children Jack and Ruby are now both nearly adults who will soon need to be accountable for their own ethical and moral decisions as well.
And because we have both served as terrible examples for them for many years in this regard, we now need to make up for that by soliciting our most hardcore, devoted and naive supporters to provide us some much-needed validation and to continue to hide the fact that we are selfish opportunists from our own children as well.
And when our children ask us to tell them more about the guests we are driving to suicide or near suicide and the rapists we are helping our polygraph examiner Dan Rybakov to protect, we can always conveniently shut our kids up with money and material luxuries. Relying on our super fans to butter us up with additional flattery makes us feel better about what we are doing and further makes us look like heroes.
Yes. Money is everything, money buys love, and money covers over a multitude of sins. This is why Rochelle never gets mad when I cheat on her with my girlfriend, which I continue to try to hide from the world even though both Rochelle and my girlfriend knows I have been crying like the little pussy I am over my adultery, which is why my eyes are now always so bloodshot and puffy in all of my videos, and which is why Rochelle can no longer deny I am cheating on her, and why I always compensate for this by buying her off with even more material luxuries. Right, honey?
Right, sweetie.
So this is why I tricked all of my superfans into kissing my ass in all of the following clips. So sit back and enjoy. So what episode did you enjoy watching the most?
I really like it when you're trying to hold back your laughter.
Well, I like those too. I'm going to show you those right now.
He cheats on me with all these fat ugly girls, and they are all ugly and fat.
How fat are they? So tell me about how I influenced you to enter into law enforcement.
Well, I myself am not sure about why I am saying all these things because you are not a cop anymore. But I just happen to know you used to be a cop. And so I am just going to go ahead and assume for whatever strange reason that you were a great cop. And this is why I just love you so much, Steve, without having ever known or met you, and about how you performed as a cop prior to becoming a talk show host, because everybody else seems to like you and it only makes sense to say what everyone else is saying.
Well, it certainly warms my heart to hear that. Thank you. Hey Mickey, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good. When did you begin watching my show?
Oh man, bowling shirt days, Steve. Back in 2007 to 2008 I started watching your show.
Yeah, the bowling shirts were season 1 and 2. Now of all the episodes you watched, and you've been watching for 14 seasons, what guest has upset you the most?
It grinds my gears to this day still, but it's Samantha, the Arabella Parker episode. That episode really just, as a mom, and I just don't understand How somebody could allow someone who is not the father and is someone who isn't a present person in this child's life from the very beginning just do something so evil and cruel to their child and just stand there and watch is something I will never understand. And the end result was this innocent child lost their life, and I can't wrap my mind around how you can allow someone to do that to your child or watch that happen to your child.
Alright, we have a clip of that. Let's watch. I don't need a test to tell me you failed your daughter. I don't need a test to tell me that when it came to your own daughter who is fighting for her life that you're a coward. I don't need a test to tell me you are one of the most miserable mothers I have ever met. I was so mad at my girlfriend on that day. How dare she try to leave me, the great Steve Wilkos. It's why wrongfully blaming the women on my stage for the abuse their boyfriends or husbands give them is always so cathartic. So honey, how about I take you out to dinner and a movie and then buy you a pair of diamond earrings afterward? Will that be enough to compensate for my ongoing love affair with my mistress?
Of course, darling. That would be lovely.
Phew, I can't believe I got away with that one. Where was my girlfriend when I was single?